Now, let's go ahead and we're going to dive in to herbal books that you can use as resources that you can purchase on Amazon. You can't get my books on Amazon. Maybe someday, but right now, no. All right, let's go. We'll get started. You didn't know this, but I've got a fireplace here in my clinic office down in town. And anyway, along with my big, huge library, this is just a fraction of the books that I have. But I was asked recently, over and over actually, about what books do I recommend. And I realized it's been probably 2 or 3 years since I've talked about this subject. And my library has grown massively in that time. So I thought I would go ahead and do a quick video on my favorite beginning herbalism books, my favorite intermediate herbalism books, and my favorite advanced herbalism books. And I'm going to go ahead and get these all compiled with links for you if you want them. And I'm just going to link to one page on my website, my valuable resources page. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So if you're a beginner to herbalism, then you definitely don't want to take a deep dive into the advanced herbal concepts, because it's very likely that you might get scared off. I know I would have back in the day. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorites for beginners. So I love this book by Rosalie de la Ferrette. She's a very excellent herbalist, and I just really enjoy her, just her personality, everything anyway. But I like this book because she does a very nice job with the research. It's a gloss over of different herbs with a few recipes, but in terms of it being good for beginners, it will definitely get you into creating herbal products and with an understanding of the research and some of the clinical studies about the health benefits too. So I really like this one for beginners. Another one for beginners is Rosemary Gladstar's Herbal Remedies for Vibrant Health. Now this seems like a very small little book, but it's very thick, and it was written a while back. And as with any herbal book that was written a while ago, there might be some information that you might want to double check. In fact, you should always double check your information anyway. I'm just going to say, whether you're getting it online or from me or from a book or wherever, do it some double and triple checking. And then if you have questions, reach out to an herbal mentor, hopefully me, and get your answer, okay? But I really like this book. She goes through different members of the family and different recipes and remedies that you could potentially use to support them. I would put this one in the category of a beginning herbalist book too. This is the Modern Herbal Dispensatory by Thomas Easley and Stephen Horn. Now, there's another book I really like for medicine making, and that's the one by Rico Czech called, I think it's just called Medicine Making or Herbal Medicine Making. And he wrote that way back in 2002, I believe, so it's pretty old. But the way that these three gentlemen, Easley and Horn versus Rico Czech, they've got some differences in how they create their tinctures and what they recommend. So I would say to you, get both of them if you can. But if you can't, this is a newer version. But I still really love Rico Czech's book too. I have it and I still use it. This one is an amazing beginning herbal medicine guide. It's just perfect if you're a brand new beginner. Rosemary Gladstar, Medicinal Herbs, A Beginner's Guide. She goes through herbal medicine making, and then she has a little section for commonly used herbs that are very safe. And she does not dive deeply into research. She doesn't go deeply into chemical constituents or things like that. But it's a nice way just to get started, okay? So if you're not ready for a course, but you want to start, that's a really good book to start with. Tina Sam's book, The Big Book of Herbal Medicine, I haven't really used this one very much, but it's nice for beginners as well. A lot of recipes in here. And then we've got, sorry, I've got a lot of books here. This one's a nice one, Herbal Medicine for Beginners by Katia Swift and Rin Madura. Again, it's pretty basic. It just goes through a few herbs and has a couple recipes for each one. It's good for beginners. And then finally down here, we've got Body into Balance by Maria Noel Groves. And I really like this book because she attacks the whole beginning herbalism thing differently. She starts off with the body systems and talks about how to support your body systems with herbs. There are some recipes. She does not go deeply into the herbs themselves. So if you're looking for that, then I would buy an additional book on top of it. But this is a really nice book to get you at a very beginning level familiarized with your body. Those are my beginning herbalist books right here in this stack. Over here, I've got my intermediate herbalism stack, and I'll try to go through these a little more quickly. Once you get to a certain place in your herbal journey and you're making your plant medicines and you're sharing your remedies and you've got a little apothecary going and you've already realized you need to dive in and learn about the plants because that's the only way you're going to become an herbalist, then you start wondering about other things, and that's your intermediate level. Here are my favorite books for intermediate herbalists. Stephen Herod Buhner, who sadly just passed away a while back, has written a lot of books, and I really love all of his books. He's amazing. But these two here, I feel like these should be on every single intermediate herbalist's desk. This is Herbal Antivirals and Herbal Antibacterials, and please be sure that you're getting the second edition. And I want to just give you a caution here. There's a lady, and I think her last name is Jones, but she has written books with these same exact titles, and they actually look similar on Amazon. They're not as good as Stephen Herod Buhner's, in my opinion. All right, so please be sure you're getting Stephen Herod Buhner's books for these topics. Those two are excellent for intermediate herbalists. Now, this is a 2-volume set, and I was thinking about, should I put these in the beginning or the intermediate? And I actually bought these when I was still a beginning herbalist long ago, but they're a little archaic. Okay, so when you're reading these, they were written a very long time ago. I think they were compiled in the 1930s. So you've got some language in there and maybe some old-fashioned remedies and things like that. But I still feel like if you're a beginner, you like stuff like that's great, but you're going to have to do some more sleuthing. But for intermediate herbalists, I really love these two. It's called A Modern Herbal, Volume 1 and Volume 2 by Mrs. M. Grieve. So this is back in the days, obviously, when women were Mrs. and her first name, I don't know, was it Margaret? Was it Mary? I don't know. But Mrs. M. Grieve, and these books are excellent. So she was a woman. I think more attention should be given to her. But anyway, two of my favorites for intermediate herbalists. All right. This little guy here is amazing. This is a nice book for your intermediate herbalist. It dives into a little bit about the plants, constituents, goes deeply, not deeply, but gives you a good idea where to start researching for constituents, nutritional ingredients, current uses, traditional uses, available forms, doses, and administration guidelines. And then what makes, I think, this become an intermediate level book is that they do go into the pharmacokinetics. In other words, how do the medicinal compounds actually act on the body? So that is a really nice part that I really like about this book. They do discuss toxicity, contraindications, side effects, long-term safety. So in other words, they really dive more deeply into the safety practices. They also discuss herb-drug interactions, which I feel like is extremely important. And then each herb has its own little reference section. This is a book called Herbal Therapy and Supplements, a Scientific and Traditional Approach, and it's by Marilee A. Kuhn and David Winston, two very reputable old-time herbalists. Really like that book. I say get it. All right, then we have medicinal or medical herbalism, and this is the Science and Practice of Herbal Medicine by David Hoffman. I love this book. I think this is just one of the best intermediate herbalism books that anybody could get. He does go into common ailments and things that you might want to use herbs for. And then there's a whole materia medica section, and he also discusses body systems in here. Very well researched. There's a lot of good indexes. The index is wonderful for finding things. He's got plant indexes as well as ailment indexes, and this is a very helpful book. So yes, it's a little pricey, but honestly, if you're done with your apothecary and you're done dabbling, here you go. You might want to get this one. Alrighty, next in the intermediate level, and also last, we're going to hop into the advanced in a moment. This book, Adaptogens in Medical Herbalism by Donald R. Yance. Now he's focusing specifically on adaptogen herbs, but I think adaptogen herbs are a classification of herbs that everybody who's at a certain level of herbalism should be very familiar with and know how to use, because these are often the foundation for your clinical practice and your practice work with clients. So you might be working with a client on a specific issue, but recognizing that a certain kind of an adaptogen herb might very well support what you're trying to help that client with. I like this book a lot. It's very well written. Everything Donnie Yance puts out is very well written. He also has a website, lots of great articles. So this is another one for your intermediate herbal bookcase. Intermediate herbal bookcase. Okay, next up, we're going to dive into the advanced books now, and this is where I'm living these days, and I love it. So this one, and these are in no particular order, by the way. This is the Essential Guide to Herbal Safety by Simon Mills and Carrie Bone, two exceptional men, gentlemen in the herbal world. These are two wonderful men who teach at the university level, I believe, and they are very well versed in the science of herbalism. So I really like this book, and they do go into herbal safety quite deeply, into acute toxicities of different plants and things like that. So this is a good book to have on your shelf at the advanced level. Again, it's also pretty pricey, but worth it if you're working with clients and people. And I think, seriously, if you're getting into a client practice of any kind, you really need to be at a certain level and know what your limitations are. So anyway, we won't go, that's a whole other topic. All right, next up on the advanced herbalism bookshelf should be these. These are different volumes written by Dr. Jill Stansbury. She's a naturopathic doctor, not a traditional naturopath. By the way, there's a difference. Sometimes you'll hear somebody say, hey, I'm a naturopath, or I'm a naturopathic doctor, and you assume that they're an ND, that they've actually got the doctorate as an ND. And then you find out that they don't. And that's because some people will go and they get a certification in traditional naturopathy, and that's a completely different animal and not medical school like a naturopathic doctor would be. Be aware of that, please. Look into people's certifications and education if you're working with somebody one-on-one. And if you run across somebody who you feel is trying to pass themselves off as something they're not, there you go. That just says it all to me, but you make your own decision. Anyhow, that's another topic too for another day. And I just want to say here that these volumes are amazing. These are actual herbal formularies for health professionals. And as herbalists, many of these can be very useful for us. I'll just run through the volumes. Volume 3 is on endocrinology. One of the biggest questions I get in my practice is on hormones. And hey, what do I do with my failing adrenal systems? Why am I exhausted? How about, what do I do for low thyroid? What do you do for female menopause, things like that. So there are a lot of different formulas in there for that. Another book that I have that I didn't bring out along those lines is, I can't remember the title of it, but and I have it on my bookshelf. I don't know why I didn't pull it out here, but it's Herbalism for Women's Health, or Medical Herbalism for Women's Health. It's by Dr. Aviva Ram. It's very helpful if you're dealing with women who have different kinds of needs for support. Okay, volume 2 is on circulation and respiration. So that would be your cardiovascular system, your peripheral vascular system, your pulmonary system, and your general respiratory system. Volume 1 is on digestion and elimination. Guys, if your digestive system is not working and you're not eliminating properly, you're going to be very sick. So she talks about the liver, the gallbladder, the urinary system. She also has the skin included in this, and the gastrointestinal system. Next up, her volume 5 is Immunology, Orthopedics, and Otolaryngology. So this is another very good book. And so if you're interested in allergies, the immune system, the musculoskeletal system, and eyes, ears, nose, and throat, that would be a volume for you to have. And then finally, volume 4 is Neurology, Psychiatry, and Pain Management. This is near and dear to my heart. As a person who struggled with L4, L5 back issues for a long time, and until I found herbs and started going natural, I was on what all the pain doctors put you on. I was on oxycodone and I was on Xanax, and they were testing me occasionally to make sure I wasn't overdosing or one of those people who are out there doctor shopping because they're addicted. But the fact was that I couldn't take the stuff, so I always kept enough on hand to just in case. But I just basically for a long time I gritted my teeth and got through the pain. But I had sciatica as well as the L4, L5 disc things, and I needed surgery at a certain point. And it was about that time that I drew that line in the sand that many of you have heard me talk about. And I said, I'm not taking over-the-counter or prescription meds anymore because they were making me so sick. I just woke up one day, and at that point, I said no. And I started working with herbs. I started working with essential oils. I started working with a yoga practice and breathing techniques and relaxation and stress management. And guess what? My back healed up. And I laugh because I laugh in amazement because I'm still odd. I'm just so odd at how wonderful the medicinal plants that God has given us work. They work. We just need to put them to work and get them going. All right, anyway, so this is neurology, psychiatry, and pain management. And she does include cognitive conditions in here, emotional conditions, and then your neurologic conditions. Things like neuropathy, as well as all your emotional stuff. Okay, phytochemistry. If you are getting into advanced herbalism, you want to know what the plant chemicals are and what they do. Okay, it's a little confusing when you start studying phytochemistry, but I think this is one of the books I really like. Lisa Ganora wrote this book, Herbal Constituents, and I think she did a wonderful job breaking down plant constituents. Next up, this is another volume by Carrie Bone and Simon Mills, Principles and Practice of Phytotherapy, basically herbal medicine. And this is a pretty heavy duty volume of books, but they go into different kinds of issues. They've got materia medica for plants, and then they talk about different ways to deal with different issues that are sometimes pretty severe. So this is a very good book. Again, if you're an advanced herbalist, you can see how fat it is. It's a pretty pricey tome as well. The last book on your advanced herbalist bookshelf is the American Herbal Products Association's Botanical Safety Handbook. This is a really good book. They actually have a board, an advisory council that consists of excellent herbalists, a couple of doctors, and some others who teach, but they did a very nice job taking plants and walking through their potential toxicities and looking into clinical studies where there were adverse reactions. And this is not to say that you shouldn't use these herbs at all. There's a lot of them, as you can see. But what it does do is it gives you, as you're formulating and as you're deciding what herbs are best for certain clients, that it's going to give you an idea of what a potential reaction might be. And if there's an herb that might interact with a drug, you've got that information as well. I really like this book. All right, there you go. I should have turned these the other way because their books are much more pretty when you can see their spines, aren't they? All right. Anyway, I love these books. If you're a beginner, take a look at that first list I showed you. If you're an intermediate herbalist, that second little stack might be good. And then if you're advanced, this last bunch might be excellent too. I have a lot more books on my shelves. I could have gone through a couple hundred more, but I like these a lot. So if you are getting into herbalism, consider diving into some of these books. The thing is that you can't learn everything online, and with the rise of AI, artificial intelligence, you need to be so careful. The other thing is that you've got people out there who want to think they're herbalists and they haven't got the study hours in, or they haven't got the experience hours in. And that's not to say that everybody out there is terrible, because they're not. There's some really good people on the internet and on YouTube too. But there are some that are just dabblers, and they are talking about things that they probably should leave to somebody who's had training. Okay, just saying. All right, that's it for today. I'll end on that cautionary note. Please, if you are interested in subscribing, do share this video with others, use this as a resource, and I will put links to all these books somewhere. I'll probably put them on my resources page on my website, and then I will take that link and put it below so that there's not just this massive, huge list of Amazon links in my YouTube descriptions. I hate that, bothers me. I don't know why, it just does. But anyway, I love you guys. And if you're interested in studying herbalism, consider taking a course from the School of Botanical Arts and Sciences. That's with Healing Harvest Homestead. That's my school. And we'll get you started getting into your herbal studies. Specifically, if you've been working with herbs for a while, the Confident Herbalist Tribe is a really wonderful place to be. It's a place where you can actually get mentorship, and if you're starting to work with clients, you've got a place for support and getting personal answers from me, as well as other herbalists and aromatherapists. So it's a really wonderful membership community, and it's filled with amazing content. So lots and lots of herbal studies and research and things like that. Oh, I should have brought my own books out here. Hold on. I want to show you something, because I get asked this all the time. Have you written any books? And the fact of the matter is, I have not. I've written a ton of books, but I haven't published any of them with traditional publishing houses, primarily because I don't have time. And I publish books for my students. What I've done here is I've got 3 massive volumes on essential oils, and I have written, and we get deeply into the phytochemistry of all of these. And then I have 5 volumes of herbal masterclasses that I've also written. And these go deeply into the plant knowledge, the plant phytochemistry, materia medica, the research, clinical studies, in depth. And we've got recipes and remedies in these. So these books that are compiled in these volumes are between 40 and 80 pages each on average. And each masterclass comes with the book and a video, and sometimes other videos with projects and fun things that you can do with the plant as well. And all of this is inside the Confident Herbalist Tribe. If you're interested in studying herbalism, the Confident Herbalist Tribe in our school is a really amazing place to be. I feel like with the community plus the content, there's nothing like it out there. And I'd love to see you join us.